Hello and welcome everyone. I'm back with another Twitter bot tutorial. In this tutorial, I have finished with the SQLite class, and now we can actually use SQLite as a storage for the bot. I have released all the files on GitHub. You can actually download it and view the repository, uh, which is on this link right there. I will provide the link in the description. Now, let me just run you through the script and the data manager here. Okay, so let's first just start the script and see how it's working. Okay, so I have run the script before and I have processed 262 tweets, and now you can see that we went up by 3 other tweets that were posted in the hashtag there. So, alright, so let's talk about the data manager right here. In the data manager, there are two classes. The bot text, which I have not used here. It is the same class that we used to use back in the that we used back in the other video to store data, which is not efficient. So ignore it. It's just there for any other purposes. If you want to use it, you can use it. All right. Okay, so now with the other class, the new class right there, you can see that here, upon the initiation, which is basically this thing right there, you called a new variable and you call the class. Now in here, I can actually store a database such as new DB. Now what this does is it basically creates a new database. It uses a new database, and if we run the script right there, we will see that it will have nothing in it, and it will go through all the tweets. Now just know that it does not retweet it for the script, since I counted out the retweet command there. So as you can see, it's going up through all the tweets. And if you don't specify any name, such as the way I did it earlier, it just gives it a the bot DB name. So that's like a default name for it, basically. Okay, now it checks if the file exists. If it does, it just opens it, assuming that it does have all the tables that are required by the bot here. So it will just open it, and if it doesn't exist, it will create it, and it will create every table in it. And that's it for the initiation there. Now the add tweet and the add tweet and the remove tweet and check tweet. Now what we did here, we created 4 different tables. We created a tweets table, which basically stores all the processed tweets. So any of these tweets that we are reading right now is being stored into tweets. And before it does actually read the tweet or does anything with the tweet, it tries and checks the ban. It checks the ban table and sees if that username does exist in the ban table. And if that user does exist in the ban table, it will just skip that tweet. And you can see here that it finished with all the tweets right there and stored all the processed tweets. So that's good. Okay, now admin's table can be used however you like it to identify admins with their user ID, the Twitter user ID. It will also store the admin name and the admin email. Just in case you want to write in another function that basically just notifies the admin, a specified admin or all the admins when a new when the script goes through any errors, you can use the email as a notification system. You can write a little function that sends an email to that admin saying that the script went through an error, explaining the error. Okay, so now also the mentions, and the mentions I used it in my other bot as a commands input for the user. And then I stored it in the mentions table. And in here, and for every table, there exist three functions or three definitions. First is the add tweet, or the ban user, or add name, or add mention, and they all work the same. They basically add data to a table. They add records to a table. Remove, it just removes a records from a table. As for every other definition or function there, no matter what table we're talking about, it does the same thing. Just add a bunch of records to the table. Check, and for all of them again, checks for records in the table. Okay, now finally, and the last thing we have to talk about is get stats. And what this does is it basically just counts all the records and tweets and then just adds them to a string here, and then does the same thing to ban, add it to a string there, right here, and then does the same thing for mentions, add them to a string there, and then return the string. We have used it here in the main script. We can see it right there at the beginning. We can go up here. Okay, so we can see in the beginning there, we started a new database, we executed the script, it executed the first thing here, it got the stats, and well, since it's a new database, there was nothing in it. And every time it was reading a data file, every time it was reading a tweet, it was adding it to the whole data thing there. And by the end, it prints the new stats, and it did store 260 tweets in the database. Now, of course, it did not ban any users, nor did it check for any mentioning there. Okay, so that is basically it for today. This is a very, very, very basic script that you can use to get started with Twitter bots on Python. If you like this video, hit the like button there, subscribe if you want to, and have a good day.